Cool, guys. I think I've given you both like a little explanation of what I've been doing. So I've been spread so thin across all the different locations and stuff. I just try to carve out some time to connect with people. And then I was like, I might as well get like another person on so I can introduce other people together. We all get to know each other. It's kind of been like a selfish effort that I wanted to do. And then I was like, oh, I might as well record it and share it with other people in case it's useful for anyone else. It's free flowing. Like it's just a conversation that I have. And I really want to talk about this concept of showing up and what it means for you. And I think you two are perfect because you guys are in different seasons of life right now. Right. Wellington is just getting his life started with his wife and kids on the horizon somewhere. Right. Alex is like knee deep in it with going through work, school, parenting, everything like all at once. Right. And then just trying to figure out where everything fits into this giant life puzzle. So that's what this podcast has been about, is like real stories, real people. It gives a kind of a window into our business, what we do, how we do it, those kind of things. And then also a window into like real lives where people are trying to just solve for like this, like how do they make training part of their life? When we fall off track. How do we break this all or nothing? You're all in training, you're all out, right? And break that cycle is what we're really looking to do. I gave a little intro on the two of you guys. So I figure what we'll start off doing is maybe one of you guys could jump in and just give us a little snapshot of what life looks like outside of the gym right now for you guys.
Oh, I want to hear what Wellington's starting up.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Alex.
good to see
Jason,
you too.
thank you for setting this up and congrats. Proud of you. A little bit about what I have going on. I think you hit the nail on the head, just really trying to figure out this next stage of my life. Fitness has always been this on and off girlfriend that I know,
Situationship.
love dearly, but she comes and goes, right?
Yeah.
So I really tried to make a commitment. Let's call it, now that I say in my career I've had afforded the ability to really be able to manage my time more accordingly. Even though it is a very busy and fast-paced industry that I'm in, which is marketing, alcohol, and events. But with that, fitness has always been a real goal for me. And I started thinking about it a little bit differently, where now I'm looking at it more, instead of creating or hitting a goal, I'm really trying to create a mindset and really a lifestyle. So it's less of a on and off relationship and more of a consistent relationship, similar to just foundational brushing your teeth or showering every day.
Yeah.
So, it's ultimately, I guess, how do I create consistency along with work, trying to build a family. I just got married in November of this past year.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And it's really been okay, how do I carve up time the right way? I've started to at least see visually what the gains could be, not only just physically in my body, but also like mentally how I feel. But now, as I do ramp up and God willing, I get to a point where I'm like Alexander and I do have children and like this new chapter, or a new toy, right?
Yeah.
If you want to call a kid a new toy.
Yeah.
How do I
Not a
continue to
toy.
balance that? So that's really it. Work, it's work. I do travel a ton. That's probably where I suffer the most in terms of that consistency. But even then, Jason, we talked about this. How do I continue that momentum even as I'm traveling? It's not the same because that community is not there, which I say is really, that has been the key sort of silver bullet that I needed in order to really create consistency. And I'll end with this. One of the trainers, I always tell them, I need you to yell at me. I need that like energy. And it's not,
Which one?
I don't need,
Is it
we don't
Dennis
need this
or
to be
Phil?
well, it's all of them really.
All of them?
Luis, I tell the most because he's always like, I don't know how to do it. But regardless, I don't need a Full Metal Jacket drill instructor telling me to go. It's more about energy. And that's where, when I'm working out by myself, hopefully there's somebody at the gym that it can inspire that energy. But if not, it's really difficult. So for me, I really need that one-to-one or just group energy that allows me to push and bring out that competition and competitive mindset that I have. But All in all, yeah, more consistent girlfriend right now.
Yeah, yeah. Good, man. Alex, what's
You
your life
you hit,
is
yeah, you hit so many nails on the head, honestly, about mindset, about like finding a consistency, finding a balance, and just getting married and then figuring out one chapter and what the next chapter is. And I remember talking to Jason at the, what was it, the end of 2023,
mm,
and then having pushed off even the introduction because I was so busy. I
mm,
was like at my heaviest. I hadn't trained in years, and I pushed that off. And then I went to a UFC gym, which I used to train Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu at. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we can do a personal fitness training thing." And then they used calipers and started like pinching my fat around my stomach and my chest. And I'm like, "This feels terrible." And
yeah.
to jump on the point where you were talking about the atmosphere, the silver bullet is that community. And GTS has did that for me immediately, gave me that opportunity to feel accepted into this family.
Well, you got a lot of stuff going on in your life right now. So,
Yeah,
because even just getting on this call was like, normally
I've
I
got
do this
like
during the week.
6 textbooks
Yeah.
staring at me right now on my desk. Beginning of this year, March of this year, I started with my associate program into surgical technology, which is just step one of my medical journey, leaving the culinary world. So that's 6 days a week, like 5 or 6 hours a day, and balancing that with taking the kid to school, making sure that he's okay in the evening, giving my wife a break.
Yeah.
I was trying to find some time there to work, and I couldn't travel as much as I wished back and forth to Sacramento to my main client. I took a job with this other family, and that didn't work out. And I remember calling Jason and being like, "Jason, I can't afford to come to the gym anymore. like, I can't even make it in. There's no way. Like, I can't balance financial aid, apartment, groceries. Like, it's just, I had to cut the string somewhere."
Yeah.
Jason was awesome enough to be like, "Dude, tell me when you want to come in. We'll help you out."
Yeah.
And I still haven't been able to find the chance because guess what I'm doing now? I'm a janitor for the church. So,
Hey, dude,
this
hustle.
morning, I played golf this morning. So every Saturday morning, no matter what I do, even if I have to take all my quarters and take it to the coin star and make money out of out of thin air, I play golf every Saturday morning. And this one of the dads that I play golf with was like, "Hey, let me introduce you to Alex." There's a new guy we were playing with. He goes, "He's a professional chef. He's an EMT. And guess what? He cleans toilets now and goes to school." And I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much me."
Yeah. Renaissance man.
Renaissance, man. I mean, finding a balance in life in general is like the most complicated thing in the world.
Yeah, man. You
And
just control what you can control.
yeah, and I was thinking about, I was like, how can I even get to the gym at this point? If I start my morning at 7:30 and by about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night after work, school, putting the kid down for bed, studying to make sure that I have everything ready for the next day. It's tough.
Yeah, man.
Tough go.
Yeah, it's real though. It's like it's
Yeah, it's
what
real.
people
It's
go through, right? Everyone's got
yeah.
that, you talk to people all the time. They have to wait for the perfect opportunity to line up and they have to wait for they have enough time or there's always a reason. And spoiler alert, your life is only going to get more and more thick
Yeah.
as you go. It's almost like you want to be able to start when life is in chaos a little bit and figure out how to just survive that because then when life opens up, you'll be good to go. Because a lot of times people want to start and wait for the perfect opportunity. And then as soon as life flares up, they can't do things the way they want. They can't do the perfect program. They can't put the dedicated amount of time that they want. And then they just go by the wayside. So this is actually a good thing for you to see, Welly, is because you might be in the same situation. I saw this video. It
You're
was actually
not,
a financial video.
hopefully not cleaning toilets.
Yeah, maybe a little less toilet
Hopefully
cleaning,
not
but
cleaning
yeah.
toilets and mopping floors for
Yeah.
God forbid.
But
Today's cleaning day, man. My wife
yeah.
she's seeing red right now. I gotta clean everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this great video the other day, which we kind of have a similar concept in the gym. I use this mountain climbing analogy, right? And the goal is to like never let go of the mountain, right? You climb up, you make some progress. When you get to a point, you hold on instead of letting go and free falling down to the bottom, right? And I heard this beautiful video. It was like a finance guy. And he was saying that most people all have a similar potential. It might be easier, like people have different starting points or whatever, but most people have a similar potential when it comes to like finances and whatnot. And what he was saying is there's like a ceiling and a floor. And most people just keep on focusing on increasing the ceiling and then they like fall back down or whatever. And he's like, the key for success is you raising your floor up. So you have less of that swing up and down and more of a tighter box of where that is. And that's pretty much the same thing. When we're climbing the mountain, you anchor in, you hold on for dear life. It doesn't take much energy to hold on to the mountain. It takes a lot to climb it. And so in Alex's situation, a lot of times what we might recommend is just even just bulletproofing like a walk every day. It's like that push-ups, body weight squat. It doesn't have to be perfect because you get into this mindset of, you know what like a good routine is. And when you can't do that, you're like, F it. I just don't want to do anything at all.
At my job nowadays, like I'm working 4 hours every morning and then I have 8-hour days in the weekend. But it's mopping, it's running around a giant campus, and I try to make everything into a workout. Like I'll put my like tracker watch on. I'll do 15,000 steps in a day just cleaning a church. And I'll like mop, like trying to hold both hands. I have to like try to figure out a way, you know?
Yeah. That's cool. So take me back, like when you guys were both starting, I think, well, you found us because you were getting ready for your wedding. Is that right? And then Alex, I can't remember where you found us originally, but well, when you first started, what was the problem you were experiencing? And then how did that kind of transition now? What kind of problems are you experiencing now compared to them?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I've had a on and off relationship with fitness for a while now. Before I joined you guys, I was actually at a boxing gym in Manhattan Beach where I was doing some training. And I used to do boxing at a group boxing spot near WeHo in Beverly Hills. That's where I used to live, called Glove Works. And I fell in love with it. And I just love boxing as a sport. And honestly, the craziest workout I ever gotten was that from an endurance standpoint. We definitely built some strength, not like how we do here, but it was just a lot of fun. I wanted to continue that, and I did it here in Manhattan Beach. Unfortunately, my coach passed away, and it was really shocking because I didn't know him that well, but we became close because he was super outgoing and I really got consistent. And I just, again, love boxing. I thought it was an incredible workout. And from there, I just was discouraged and I was like, I can't go back there. They didn't really know what they were going to do next, but I still wanted to find that community. So that's how I really found you guys. And then on top of that, I was going to get married. And that was like let's call it the immediate or short-term goal. But I really started that fitness sort of journey with the boxing gym. That's how I've gotten. And I will say, I think the first time I got there, I was just measuring myself up with everyone. It's who's my age, who looks like me. What are you lifting? What are you doing? And I'll go up to everyone, including Jason. What are you benching? Like, what are you bench? What do you got? So for
the competitor in you.
Yeah, I guess how you mentioned it is really to find where can I start from? What is that foundation? Because I don't know what I know, right? And one thing that was really incredible for me is learning how to work out. That was great, even to the OCD Jason putting the weights the right way. Like that stuff was
I love that.
that
I'm the
stuff
same way,
was-
so it was great.
Yeah, he's like a Japanese parent, like it needs to be this way. I started to like just learn the lingo, if you will, of how to work out, keeping track. How data can help because you might not see it every week physically, but you can see it on paper, which has, I think, been tremendous for me, at least from a consistency standpoint. Now I'm at a point where I'm very consistent. I'm working out or lifting at least 3 times a week and then going further at home or doing some cardio at home or even doing the non-coaching time with you guys. For me now, it's how do I continue to elevate so that I do really see those gains that I want? Like everyone, I don't know what everyone's goals are, but like for me from the get-go, it's like, I want to look like an Abercrombie and Fitch model. That's what I want. And that's it. And if I'm not hitting that, what's the point that I'm here? Obviously, health is huge. But that's like something that I was like, if I hit that, I'll know at least I'm healthy because those guys look great. And, I had some friends that were those guys as well. So I think for me, that's the surface level or guilty goal that I have, but ultimately health is priority for me. And I just want to make sure that I can maintain that.
It's interesting too, because a lot of people, obviously they find us because they're always behind on everything. They're like, all right, I need to lose this much weight immediately, or I need to get this much stronger, or whatever it is, put on this much muscle. And a lot of this stuff is just lagging indicators of your habits. You're not really in a tremendous amount of control of how much muscle you put on your body at a time or how much fat loss you have or whatever. You're really in control of just showing up. And your attitude, I think, are your two biggest things that you have. And one of the two reasons why I love you guys and I thought of the two of you is because you guys are both like the most pleasant human beings to be around, and you add value to our space because of your like personalities and energy and stuff. You hit on it a little bit of just like community, energy, that kind of thing. I firmly believe that like you're the average of the 5 to 10 people you hang out with most. So you should really choose those people wisely and communities that you're a part of and those kind of things, right? Because that's stuff you want to rub off on you. And I can't remember if I talked to someone recently or on a previous episode that I've done, but I had this friend in my 20s, and I'm not naturally a person that like loves going out or doing adventurous things or traveling or whatever. I'm like a semi-routine person. And I had this friend that every single time he invited me out to do something, there was always a story and like a really fun adventure that came along with it. And I was like, every time this guy asks me to do something, I will reluctantly say yes. Yeah, I'll make sure I say yes. And because of it, I just wanted to latch on to that personality trait. And so I did this by design. And what I found was I've been to, I think, 14 or 15 countries now. I didn't have any desire to go to countries. Like I get invited on a Euro trip and then I go to these things and I've latched on to people that do that kind of stuff. And then every time I'd go out, I'd have like a kind of a cool, fun story to tell. But my instinct is to just, all right, I'll be a hermit. I'll just stay in. So I'm trying to pull these personalities and keep them. When Alex is going through a hard time, I was like, dude, you add value to our space, right? We're going to figure out a way to keep you in here as long as possible. Right.
Yeah.
So you elevate everyone else in the room.
That.
Yeah.
I appreciated that a lot. You know, it's such a funny thing. Going back to what we were talking about, like how I found you and like why I found you. I was 200 pounds lean at my wedding, 2021. Baby, a year later, I was 260.
Damn.
Like I gained an incredible amount of weight sitting. I also changed jobs to work remotely and sit in front of a desk for 8 hours a day, which for me as a chef or someone who like moves, like I need constant movement. It was the worst thing in the world to have my kitchen downstairs and all the kids' snacks you could possibly think of in arm's reach. Yeah. So when I got to GTS, I was like, I just need something that's small, that's community based. I knew that for some reason inside me, I knew that if it was a tight knit space, the community was either going to be for me or not be for me. And obviously, like I loved how I just fit in like a wedge. Yeah. I mean, that's also my personality. I feel like I could fit anywhere in the wedge.
Yeah, for sure.
I needed to learn. I'd never lifted weights in the correct manner. I'd never actually paid attention to my knees being in the right place or my wrists being appropriate. Like I never thought about that. I was either doing some form of cardio or doing some form of martial arts. Yeah. So weightlifting for me was a totally different world entirely. Yeah. And I definitely agree with you, Wellington. The moment I got there, I started measuring myself up immediately. Yeah. I'm like, I got big legs. I can squat some big numbers, and 185 was like way too much, which was not even close to my total body weight at that point, which was even crazier to think about. But yeah, dude, what a beautiful space and what a great way to find you too, having that first day of these are the stretches we do every morning. Whenever you come in, here's your board. Here's what you're going to do. I did the 3 days a week personal training or the coach training for almost a year. In October, I'll be with you guys for a year. I just love the simplicity of this is your sheet for stretching. Yeah. This is what we're going to do today. Yeah. There's Dennis, Kelly, Jared, Luis. Yeah. Here are the people who are going to make sure you don't die. Yeah. Try your hard. Grab that piece of steel and try to move it. And if you can't move it, we'll figure out a way to move it. Yeah. And that was That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Rule
that.
number 1 did stick. Don't die. And if you
Yeah, don't
plan to
die.
die,
Yeah,
just roll yourself out to another building.
Well, walk out the door. Yeah.
Right. So applicable. Yeah. You guys are talking both about just measuring up, which I think you've got some people that don't want anything to do with that. And then you've got the other guys who are always like, oh, especially if you played sports
Well,
growing up at all. There's something where
wait,
like, I
wait.
think it,
I have a funny feeling. Oh, wait, Wellington, are you from New York? Because I can see your map in the background.
oh yeah, that guy oozes New York.
Yeah, hardly home, but always repping.
Dude, hardly home, but so I'm a New Yorker too. So that could be like a thing of us where like
All three
New
of
Yorkers
us.
are always, all three of us, right? Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, right? I feel like I'm always trying to measure up
Yeah.
to see who's the big boy in the room.
For sure.
Yeah,
For
no,
sure.
you gotta know, you gotta come correct. You gotta know
Yeah.
what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
You
think
gotta,
to your
you
both
gotta
of
know
your
which
points,
big guy to knock out first.
yeah. The one thing I realized throughout my life is if I am in a room with people that are way higher up, you just feel overwhelmed and you're like, there's no way I'm doing that. So I think the cool thing with our environment and what I've seen is like we've got like elite level athletes in there and we've got like 80-year-old women. So
Yeah.
there's usually like a level across the board that you can identify with. And if you could just find that person that's like just beyond where you are, it makes it easier to like, oh, I can beat this guy or I can match this guy, right? And then you find the next person and then you could just chip your way up versus having someone that's so far out of reach. Because there's
Yeah,
all these
Kay-
people on different levels, right? They've been here
Kay's
for,
my guy. That's my guy. Kay.
oh yeah, Kay. Yeah.
Kay's my guy. I was like, I need to look like that. But Kay, he's on another level. This guy's got probably spending like $200 a day on food. He's like he's killing the cow himself and
Yeah.
throwing the fruits or the herbs that he needs for his food. So he's
Yeah.
on
I'm
another
getting
level.
Kay.
But
I'm getting Kay on here at some point. He's gonna be a good one too.
he doesn't, I think he has a pod too. That's what he does for a living.
Yeah, he's like the AI master. This guy, he left BlackRock, came out to Manhattan Beach, left this like high profile finance job to just starting his own thing and just diving into the whole AI thing. And he's been like the guy in that. And so now he's like the finance guy in AI. So
I didn't
and
know
he's
that.
just, yeah.
So he was at BlackRock. All right. I definitely have to talk to him. He knows where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's the other cool thing too. One of the things I love about just Southern California in general, and specifically LA, and you probably got it in New York too, is it's just a melting pot of people that come in from all over the place. So they all have a really unique story, which is cool because it's just people that have been out and done stuff, right? And they've done cool things. They've got a cool background. They've taken some swings at the fences. Sometimes they end up working out. Sometimes you're cleaning toilets. We're just like, we're all over the spectrum here.
Full-time student cleaning toilets.
Yeah, full on. Yeah, I don't want to knock you down a little bit, but yeah. So life's crazy and it moves pretty fast. I think like coming up with a very flexible framework and adaptable thing is cool. And then obviously having the community and people to check in with and be all different levels. You're climbing that mountain together.
And each of you guys have like a very specific set of tools, even though it's all based around the same thing. Luis might show me something that works for me that maybe Dennis showed me the day before that was like, that didn't really feel right. Or there's always someone to bounce off ideas and different body mechanics like that. All of that is just, you guys are just such a melting pot of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Dennis just tells me I'm a pussy all the time. So I don't know. But I guess that works too.
Yeah, I think that can be motivating. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's like you've got the people when you want to get a PR, you know who to select, who's going to be behind you, right? And when you want to like a nurturing person or you want to talk about more balance, who to go to and that kind of thing, right? It's funny. I think we're about like 30 minutes in or so, but one other thing I want to talk on is if some other guy out there is looking in and you're going to give him some advice on starting their training journey or pivoting into this like new spot in life, this new season of life, knowing what you know now and what you plan to do in the future, what advice would you give to those people?
Good question. That's a tough one to answer. Who am I to tell you what advice?
That's the thing. It's real. You're in it right now. So it's like, what would you wish you would have done during this time period?
That come up to me and be like, dude, it's gonna be all right. Just here's step 1, 2, and 3. And if you can get through these 1, 2, 3s, then the journey will start. Write it all down, figure out what you got to do, like what's important, pros, cons, like focusing on, is it fitness? Is it mental health? What is it that you want to do? And obviously pointing in your direction. because the consistency that you guys provide will help that journey move through.
Yeah. And a lot of that stuff all kind of intertwines. I
It all-
find,
yeah, it's
I
all-
always tell everyone that like physical and aesthetic benefits aside, for the reason why I train daily is the fact that I'm a better human to be around when I do that, right? The argument that I always give people is when they're like, I don't have time, I'm stressed or whatever, I can't do it. You are the exact person that needs some type of training in your life. If you could bottle this up into a pill, the benefits from it solves most of your problems. It really just comes down to actually just staying consistent and taking that pill every day.
If I'm sweating and moving at least once a day, I'm definitely a happier person.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, I've got my checklist of my things that I do every day. Then if I do these things, even for 5 or 10 minutes each, I am just a better human being to be around. I can serve others. I'm doing well for myself. My anxiety is like almost non-existent, and I just
Yeah.
feel good. And I'm like, when I hit the pillow at the end of the day, I go to sleep like that. And when I
Right.
do this kind of checklist of things, and usually it's something like I got to be of service. So usually that's of either of my work or just being available, like making sure that I drop everything for the people in my life. So I think that makes me feel good that I'm of service to humans around me, right? I have to make
Yeah.
sure that I'm learning something new. I have to make sure that I'm creating something small. So right now I'm in this writing habit, and I have to make sure I connect with other human beings. And then I have to make sure I get some training in. And then obviously my family, I got to kiss my wife and kid every day, right?
Yeah.
So if I do those things, I'm good. And it's simple things. It could probably take an hour in total.
Yeah. I think if you look towards the blue zones, you guys know what blue zones are.
Mm.
It's the biggest piece is community. And that's like for a new dad who's totally lost with work, school, taking care of a child, overweight, no energy, finding somebody to hang out with and just chat with and work out with, or next to, just
Yeah.
being next to somebody else that's doing that. It made me feel a million times better.
Yeah.
It definitely, I had a 180 from being like this angry, overweight, constantly in the grind to it's gonna be all right. Like
Yeah.
you gotta chill out a little bit.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I think right now too, I think everything in my life has to serve multiple purposes or I don't really do it, right? And I think our gym environment is really cool because it checks my social box, right? It's not like everyone's got headphones in working independently. It's a small space so people interact with each other. You talk. It's not like you're on like a firm class schedule where you have to be out in 45 minutes, right? So everyone's just pumping out calories and you're just surviving this foxhole. Like you've got time to breathe. You can get in and out in 30 minutes, or you could stay there for 2 hours and just hang out. So you can check that social box without feeling guilty and just being like, hey, you tell your wife, I have to go to this class for 45 minutes and then I'm going to go out with my friends for another hour.
Yeah.
You can combine those two things together and not feel guilty about it. What about you? You have any advice for future you, like young wellies coming into the gym or getting ready to get started again? What advice would you give that guy?
Yeah, definitely. I think number one, I think you said it, show up, just be there. I'll make an acronym out of this that I think is fun. SFP, sleep, form, protein.
Mm.
So when I started, I was not, the nutrition was, it was just like, all right, just Z, I know I have to have protein, but really thinking about protein, especially when you start, because you're always sore and always sore. And it's just so difficult to even move around or even sit on a toilet. And then form, I definitely got probably injured a few times. I know I was dealing with my knees and my hips, and form was tremendous. It really helped me, focus. I think, that Coca-Cola example about creating tension was also huge for me. And
Oh, the
then
soda
sleep.
can analogy. Yeah.
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 Then sleep, I mean, I've always, not always, but I do struggle with sleep because I do have sleep apnea. So I have I look like Bane at night because I got all these freaking contraptions and shit.
Yeah.
But for me, if I sleep, and you guys know this, like you can tell at the gym, I'm like, oh, I slept last night. We're crushing it today. We're going up. But
Yeah.
if I don't, it's really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Mostly every other day is really difficult. And
Yeah.
I will say for the first hour, I'm in like a haze at the gym. And that's usually when I'm squatting or benching or the really heavy lifts.
Mhm.
It's not until I'm done with that that I finally wake up. When I do sleep, I don't have that. And I don't like to take like creatine or what does Phil take? He takes a pre-workout. Phil's ready to go all the time.
Yeah.
He gave me some once, and I was like, all right, I see you got it down
Yeah.
pat. He has like his
Yeah.
formula and everything. He's like, it's not gonna jitter you, you're good. But yeah, sleep, form, and protein. I think I would tell my future you if I could go back in time, like really focus on that. And
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
just make the gym a lot more seamless and just more enjoyable because it is really difficult when you're super sore or you have this cloud over your eyes that
Yeah.
feels like you can't breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll add a T to that one. Time.
Mm,
It's unbelievable how much time it takes to actually either notice it physically or get to a point where you think you should be. Like
mm.
it's gonna come. Take your time. One
Yeah.
day you don't need to jump 50-pound increments every week. Pound and a half, 2 pounds makes a gigantic difference every
Yeah.
time. At the time I was like, oh dude, I'm gonna be swole in like
Yeah.
6 months.
A
No,
thousand
I
percent.
actually just
Yeah.
I just looked fatter in 6 months because I hadn't lost any like actual visceral fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I felt good.
Yeah.
So like I love that. That's awesome. Sleep, flow, and protein.
Yeah, I've been using lately is the weight's going to be there next week. The question will be, are you going to show up
Amen.
next week? Right. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that 1% difference really makes you just like, you want to get it to the point where it's boring and you're just putting money into your retirement fund, right? Just let it compound. You're going to show up. It's going to be there. Right. And there you might have a little bit more energy one day, like you slept a little bit better and you can push it, but your floor keeps rising.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the key. And you said it too with the form standards and stuff. I think one of the things in our whiteboard session that we go through is being intentional with your quality of movement and having ownership or control of movement. So if I said stop on a dime, you'd be able to, oh, I got it. Versus those survival reps, the wiggly
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
helicopter reps where it's like, what are we doing
I
here?
haven't been shy about going down in weight just
Mhm.
to get the form right. Because I do notice the team will just up my weight every time I'm in, which is great. But then if I'm not feeling it from a form standpoint, I'll bring it down, make sure I get the form right. When I first started, I was like, oh no, this is not good. We gotta go up, we gotta go up, we gotta go up. Or I felt like I was going backwards.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fun. I definitely, for me now, form is almost as, if not more important than just hitting the weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's an interesting transition. So I feel like when people first start, we want to give you enough information where you don't have too many constraints and you're not like overthinking this perfect thing that you have to do, right? So we let you creep up and we assume that you're doing well. And at some point, things might get a little wonky, right? And so then we might have to start revisiting like, hey, our standards are basically going to be we have some type of form standard, we have some type of range of motion standard. We have a pain standard, which I don't think most people think about is you shouldn't be training through pain, right? That shit's over. We used to do that as athletes. We don't have to survive a season anymore, right? Your game is life. And then the final standard is like a muscle engagement standard, because if the right muscles aren't doing the job, what's the point? So we're trying to find that balance of, hey, we want you to feel successful. You're moving the needle up a little bit, right? You're getting stronger. You feel it, you see it, it's objective. But then at some point, like you said, you get used to a certain cadence of increases. And then when it starts to slow down, you're like, oh, it's not working. And you try to force it. And that's usually where the injuries start to come in, right? And so this recalibration that ends up happening is completely normal. I try to let people know the journey up front so they know like when it happens. You're like, oh, you're crossing into that intermediate advanced phase now. We might need to recalibrate things and build our way back up. And then it's like a new PR, right? You're getting better muscle engagement. You're getting your quality of movement is improving, maybe not the weight or the reps, right? You might have to take a small step back, but you're going to take 2 steps forward after that, right?
Totally. Yeah.
I remember one day I had the most perfect bench session. Everything felt amazing. And I remember the next week I was like, oh no, the weight's the same, and this is not right. And I don't know how many reps I've done since being with you guys on the bench, right?
Mm,
Hundreds, thousands
mm,
maybe.
mm,
And I feel like there's only been maybe 1 or 2 weeks really where I've felt perfect.
mm.
And I'm like, for any sport, anything you do, any activity, you're always trying to like find that again. It's like taking a good hit of heroin or something. You're like trying to find that feeling.
Mhm.
And it's tough to remember everything. It's like a golf swing. It's like a tennis swing. It's like anything. It's one day it's going to be perfect and you're going to realize why you're doing it and how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
But form standards are tough. I remember dropping down in weight and some things being like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not 20 pounds lighter. Are you kidding me? No.
Yeah. How dare you?
No, it's impossible. Phil, get
You're
away
intruding on my
do you-
gains.
yeah, what are you doing here? My shoulder feels fine. It's like, you
Yeah.
can't even hold up a 10-pound weight right now. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll get through this.
Yeah, there was I think it was on like a bro science video, but that guy drops some knowledge every once in a while. It's like, I think he said something to the effect of the moment you start lifting is the moment you're forever weak or you're forever small or something like that. And it's so true because you're always just
good
like
analogy.
chasing this next PR. You hit like a 200 pound or 200 pound bench. Oh, I got to get 250 now. I got to get this, whatever that number is next. And you make these like wild leaps too, right? It's not just, it's not like I go from 200, I got to get 205. I got to get 250.
But that's the advantage of having you guys there too.
Yeah.
Like, this is the planned move. Stick to this planning. Stick to
Yeah.
this increment level. Stick to this program, and we'll
Yeah.
get you to where you need to be. That's what I've always appreciated about all of you, is that this is the science. We've done our homework.
Yeah.
Let's just follow it.
And we live it too. It's not like we're one of those
Yeah.
people that are like, hey, you're gonna do this thing that we're not doing. We're literally doing the same exact thing you guys are doing,
Yeah.
right?
I've seen Phil benching, and Phil's got a great bench, and his form is amazing. And then he'll be like, Alex, come over here, watch this. And he'll
Yeah.
show me something that he's doing. I'm like, I've never been at a gym where trainers literally going to failure and trying to also show me like
Yeah.
how to do something. It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Cool. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on this. I love doing these things. It's like super fun. But both of you grab t-shirts on me next time you're in. Alex, you got to stop by. It gives you a reason to stop by and say hi.
Merch.
And then, yeah, it's free merch. Yeah. But you guys are awesome. If there's anything that you want me to take out or whatever, I'll shoot you over the video. We're going to chop it up a little bit where we clean up some of the filler words and whatnot. And then you guys can give me the thumbs up and not. And
You
whatnot.
gotta put some like graphic over every time I curse that says bleep or like a bunch of symbols. So, yeah, we need.
This will
or like,
be
you know
the
how, like,
explicit episode.
old school rap videos would like blur, everything was blurred. The whole video
Yeah.
was blurred because like
Yeah,
they couldn't
yeah.
show anything.
I'll take
And you couldn't
pixel
even
blur.
hear anything but the beat because everything had a curse word. But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress.
Thanks a lot, guys.
that was
Appreciate
fun.
you.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and then
Good guys.
Alex, we're gonna probably circle back with you probably a year from now or 6 months from
Yes.
now, and I want to hear like a cool success story
Six-
coming out of
6
the
months.
woodwork.
6 months from now, I'll be knee deep in the next part of school. So,
Well, hopefully you'll be like
and
real,
hopefully,
like
and hopefully
training.
a little bit training. Since I left, I've lost about 20 pounds worth of fat, so that's good. So if
Nice.
I can get down, keep slimming down, and kind of then work my way back into the gym,
Yeah.
we'll be good.
Yeah.
We'll be
Well,
good.
let's connect. I'll give you a bunch of ideas and stuff that you can do on your
I love
own.
it.
So, all
All
right. All right. Thanks,
good,
guys.
guys.
It's nice
Appreciate
seeing
you.
you, Beef. Take it
Yeah.
You
easy.
too, man. Bye.